folks, welcome to No Excuses. I'm your host, Rodney Arbona, and my special guest is Laurie Ziel, and she's got a wonderful part in One Little Finger. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So what got you to this part?
This stemmed actually from producer Kevin Mackey had contacted me. We did a project together for the UNESCO,
Yes.
the United Nations, and so when One Little Finger came about, he asked me to submit some more work for that. I jumped at the chance, obviously. I work with kids with disabilities.
Wonderful.
In Minnesota. I worked with the foundation. It was called Children's Project, AT Children's Project.
Okay.
And it's kids with ataxia telangiectasia.
And what is that?
That's like having immune deficiencies, cancer, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, like all rolled up into one. There's so many different things, and they're misdiagnosed, so it's AT as a whole. And it was just a great project.
That's fantastic.
So when they asked me to be a part of this, absolutely.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So you've been already involved in something like this prior, and when this came about, this has really got to turn a light bulb on for you, huh?
It did, and actually Kevin Mackey said, think about what you've done in your past with working with the kids, and as soon as that thought popped in my head, believe is the piece that I wrote that was the ability
beautiful.
And disability.
I like that. Just one word says it all.
It said it all.
And how long have you been working with kids? At this level?
With the AT Foundation stems right after 9/11.
Really?
It was through a fireman that I met these children.
That's
that was
unbelievable.
Involved in 9/11. So out of tragedy, something beautiful.
Something came about it. Was it a fireman from New York or somebody who was visiting to help out?
Yes, he was a friend of mine that worked in New York.
Oh my goodness.
And he brought me to meet the kids in Minnesota.
That must have been some trip.
It was. It was an eye-opening experience, to say the least.
How many kids were there?
The first year I went, I'd say there were about 10 that I met.
Okay.
And then it just started growing from that moment on. And it was a hockey player, Sean Pudine, actually, that started it in Minnesota.
Okay.
So it stems from Florida all the way up the coast.
So how big is this organization now?
It's Team 25 has split into a bunch of different smaller adaptive projects.
Right.
The AT Children's Project is happening down now in Deerfield Beach.
Deerfield Beach, sure.
And they've huge breakthroughs. So we're trying to raise more awareness. There's no government funding for them.
That's a shame.
It really is. So we came about and brought a little bit of Hollywood, a little bit of the music world, and everybody together.
Good.
And started raising awareness and funding.
And now we have some of the media world.
That's
great. So your part in One Little Finger, coming from that, I can imagine sitting down, being you, saying, what am I going to put on paper?
Yes.
How difficult was that? Because your brain's got to be spinning a million miles an hour.
It was, because being involved with my kids there's just so many things, seeing what they are capable of doing.
Sure.
And dancing was a big thing, and music was a big part of our event.
Okay.
As soon as the music came on, when they heard the music, even though they're in wheelchairs, they want to dance just like everybody else. So we've had some wonderful times, and just that's where a lot of belief came from, was remembering the dances that we had together.
That's great.
So that just started rolling from there. So, but there was so many ideas to take from to write the piece, but that's where we went. We went with the dancing part of it.
Did you break the ideas down and say, I'm going to do this versus that?
I didn't break anything down. It kind of just rolled right off.
Did it really?
Yeah. I remembered one night in particular dancing with one of the boys, Tyler, who we have since lost. But it was a dance that me and him had that was very special right before he passed away. And it was just, they're trapped in bodies that just don't always work.
Right.
And that's...
they're trying to get them to work.
Exactly. So they're just doing what
their
everybody... They're just like
amazing.
everybody else. They're just trapped in those bodies that just don't always work the way they want them to. And that dance was just very special. Every moment with all of them are very special.
So they inspired you?
They really do. All the time, every day.
Their inspiration helped you write this?
Yes.
And who'd you write it for?
You mean who's performing it?
Yes.
Julian Lennon.
That's
Julian Lennon read the piece, he loved it, and he performs on
That's got to be an amazing feeling all together, huh?
It really is.
Did it come all full circle for you for all that hard work?
Yes.
All of a sudden,
it really
you understand the why, right?
Yes.
We do things and we're saying there's got to be a why showing up.
There's always a why, and you always have to find what that purpose is, what it is.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And what's next? Do you have some children books, I understand?
I do. I have a children's book series that I've been working on, and I just finished the 5th one in the series, and I have a couple of screenplays that I'm finishing up.
My God, Laurie.
I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm working on a poem book as well.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, I'm incorporating my photography with my poetry.
Well, it's great to see your talents involved with One Little Finger.
I was honored beyond belief for the chance and opportunity to do this.
Well,
So,
the honor, I'm sure, is
about it.
Kevin's as well, because your talent to write that, and of course, Julian Lennon liking it and
Yeah.
wanting to be a part of your music is got to be something that
It
says,
feels
speaks
good.
volumes.
It feels good, and to have Rupam call me and to tell me the wonderful things he had mentioned, that he loves my work, and as well as Kevin, and that the producers want to
Sure.
work with.
It's a great
Blessed.
feeling.
It really is.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, we're blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show, No Excuses.
Yeah, thank
it's
you for having
always
me.
great seeing you.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Laurie Ziel, everybody, my special guest. Thanks for watching No Excuses. We'll see you again.